when it comes to the Americans, if we say things like there were a bunch of Iranians slaughtered and killed during the protests, the people in America, we kind of have a tendency of thinking, well, let the Afghans, let the Pakistanis, let the Iraqis, let them all kill each other. I'm not getting involved. Let them go ahead and kill themselves before I'm getting involved. But I think a way to try and reach Americans with the word game, for instance, the left plays word games all the time. First, it was access to health insurance, then it became access to health care. They play the word game all the time. They keep switching from one thing to another. And so I would like to propose that when we talk about what happened in January, is that instead of saying Iranian citizens were slaughtered and killed, that we say um, unarmed civilians were massacred by the tens of thousands for crying out for freedom. And I know that sounds minuscule and it sounds semantic, but I'm just saying that we reword how we say it. Instead of just saying Iranians, we say unarmed civilians by the tens of thousands. I think, anyway, that was just, I'm used to this word game that they play, and I'm hoping that's helpful.
I don't think that's minuscule at all. The way you use language has a huge impact on how people perceive it, and I think it's actually very, very significant. And I think that actually your way of talking about it, in the way you phrase it, I think is perfect. And I think that's a very good point. So yeah, the only criticism I have is stop. You need to be more confident. Stop apologizing for the point that this is a very important point, and you are is you're on point, and it's very important. So yeah, just need more self-confidence. But other than that, it was yeah, I completely agree with you. I want to see what other people have to say about this. Who's next?
Okay, we have some twos in the chat. I believe Monkey was first.
Yeah, I completely agree with Armin on this. Language is the weapon they used against us. A lot of the effectiveness that comes from this victim culture comes from the language they use, who they place as the victim, how they phrase encounters. You even see the newspaper. Why do you think the newspapers say a man attacks a woman and won't say illegal immigrant stabs local? Because they're playing that word game. If you want to see the word game played, you got to look at media. They play the word game against us every single hour of every day. They do it 24 hours, 25 hours a day, 8 days a week. That's how hard they do it. If there's any time in between, if they could break space and time, they would use that word game there too. You got to understand, not only is it important, it is so important that every nation uses it. Every broadcast corporation uses it. The news media uses it. The UK is feeling how much they use it very much. How they portrayed Novak, the kid that got stabbed. How they portray all these encounters that they have with the civilians, with the locals in their populations. This is an extremely important game, and a game that the left always wins. We place too little importance on it. If anything, I would say this is our weakest point. This is our weakest point because the people that get indoctrinated by them and fall into their indoctrination and get stuck in their echo chamber get pulled in by that language. It is like a spell. All right. It is basically a programming. It's just like programming the brain. It's like a spell binding. They get bound by these words into feelings and responsibilities that they don't have about things that they didn't do, hating themselves, hating their race, hating their religion, like Christianity is the worst religion on earth. Let's be real. Come on. This is very important. This is crucially important. And I think it needs to be highlighted that we keep losing the word game, and it sucks.
You're okay. You're starting to circle.
My question was, so are you okay with the way I reworded that? Is everybody okay with that? Or am I offending anybody? And I'll shut up and let everybody else.
Well, One thing I want to say, first of all, no, you're not offending us, but also if you're if you're offending people because of saying that, you should say, fuck them. So don't, you could go ahead and offend people sometimes. You don't worry about offending people. They could if they could deal with it themselves. Like, why should you be worried about offending people? Just say what you want to say. If somebody gets offended, it's their problem. It's not your problem.
Okay, let's go to the next two. That's Jose.
No, Sherry, you did not insult any of us. You did not offend any of us. If you think about it, you can go one step further. Every one of those people was someone's child, regardless of what their age was. You could very easily have stated 42,000 children, and you wouldn't be lying. And you'll be using the half-truths they use at the same time.
Okay, thank you, Jose. Jeffrey, you're next.
Yeah, I'm with Armin on this. I mean, that was an extremely important topic. So the term politically correct, at least in American political vernacular, finds its origins in pro-Soviet, pro-Stalinist leftists in the first part of the Second World War, right? And that was in response to anti-Soviet, anti-Stalinist socialists and others criticizing Stalin betraying the world and signing a non-aggression pact with Adolf Hitler. So the pro-Soviet, pro-Stalinist leftists, Kapus and all those guys, said those that agreed with Stalin's positions were said to be politically correct. Political correctness or weaponized language was never meant to sit there and create a more genteel society. It was meant to constrain speech and subsequently thought. The way people speak is the way people think, and vice versa. So Sketch is right on the money. Armin, right on the money. You're very much right on the money. How much weasel wording do you see by any number of contemporary representations of the red, black, and or now red-green alliance in the mainstream media, like doing everything they can to run interference for, downplay, whitewash the horrific shit the Mullah regime, now regime remnants, has visited upon the people of Iran. You see that shit all the time. They do it against President Trump. Anything that doesn't operate within the worldview they were conditioned to subscribe to. So your point is valid. I mean, it's like probably one of the more important points one could raise. God bless you, Sherry.
Thank you. Cat Lady, you're next.
Yeah, Jeffrey, you just keep taking my point. I wanted to make this point that the way words have a huge part in forming thoughts as humans. So when you want to control thoughts and behavior, words are very important. It's not only semantics, it's actually like influencing the thoughts. It has also developmental, like we are verbally thinking a lot of the time. So yeah, Jeffrey, keep taking it. Yeah.
Stop it, Jeffrey.
Okay. And I have one more response from Monkey.
All right, super fast. Like if you're just getting into a group and you're like workshopping it. Hey guys, what if we phrase it like this? That's a more humble approach. Like maybe you're saying, look, I don't want to offend. That may be a little too a little too submissive, a little too apologetic, right? There is a little confidence in saying, hey guys, I got this idea. I think maybe we could start wording this like this. Let me get your input. And I got this idea on this other front that we're working in the battle space of the messaging. Maybe we could phrase this like this, right? And you interact with each other. Oh, you know what? I could also use this on this other political front that we're talking about, this other situation. So in that interaction, maybe you want to be confident, but you don't want to be insulting, right? Like I understand why Armin says, and I would chimp out sometimes if someone would get offended at me, like I do it. But there's also the aspect that you're in a group that's trying to help you. So you can be confident without being abrasive, and just say, hey guys, I'm working on this idea of this phrasing. How can we weaponize this phrasing so that we're using truth and words as a weapon? That way you're confident about it, but you're also humble enough to realize that you're working with people to check how it sounds, like sound it out, workshop it. So that's another approach. It lets you continue to be very humble, but it's a little more confident.
Okay, that's it for this topic. Do we have super chats?
We don't have any super chats. What's the next topic?
Wait a minute, nothing from Jew Hater's mom?
No. Hopefully he'll be back tomorrow. Okay, then next I have Monkey about why this has to happen before the midterms.
Oh, what
yes,
about bombs? Okay, go on. Sorry.
Now, like people are not like people within the conservative circles. We know that there are people are really getting sick of this outside of the U.S. and people that are not in like the center right or right wing might not be aware of this, but there's a little bit of wariness. And I'm looking up at some statistics and some reports. Many want aggressive conclusion, action now, targeted strike to degrade, destroy IRGC capabilities, regime enforcer proxy hub. That it includes the hub. This is what the people are saying. To neutralize threat before midterms. The goal, claim victory, stabilize price it, pivot to the domestic priorities. That last one, pivot to domestic priorities, is very strong because people don't mind us spending on a win as long as it's a win. But if we go to midterm without a win on this, it's going to hang over us, dragging on risk voter backlash. A quick, strong result could become an asset. Examples: push to bomb more and eliminate every IRGC lackey. Arm Iranians is feasible. Fully dismantle IRGC power to avoid weakness. Direct link to elections. Some of this is from Politico, Rusty NPC, MP88, The Guardian. There's a whole bunch of websites here, Washington Post. So there's Fox. A lot of people are talking about this, so I'm just giving you a rundown of the aggregation of all this. Midterm stakes, risks if weak, prolonged, high cost, economic pain, distraction. Likely House Senate losses. Upside if decisive. Degrade IRGC fast, lower threats, market stability, strengthened narrative. That's the most important thing. Like a lot of people complain about Maduro, but they didn't complain for long. At the end, they decided, like, yeah, you know what, it's a win. It just showed power. It showed American power. Indecisiveness doesn't show that. And if you're talking about the center right, what they want is a leader that shows power. Are they going to vote Democrat? No, but they might stay home. They might vote for an independent. And you don't want them to stay home. You want the left so demoralized that the center left stays home. You don't want the right to be so demoralized that they stay home because the pure center is a very thin line, right? There's usually center right and center left. And what you're going to do is like, I'm not voting for anybody. They didn't earn my vote. They might not vote the other way, but you might lose their vote. So that is it. The summary center right sentiment is war weary yet pushes hard, limited strikes to crush the IRGC threat before midterms, securing wins or avoiding disasters. Pressure hits both hawks with more force, and pragmatists resolve quickly. All prizes and result will decide GOP fortunes. So I just wanted to touch on that again. I don't think we have time for any replies on this, but I want to remind everybody that the conversation continues here. When you come to school, we can discuss this openly. And there's days that you don't even, it's free. You come in, see if you like it. Then you start with the payment plan. There's different ways to do this. You come over here, you talk to us, discussion keeps on going. I don't think we have a lot of time for replies, but I'm going to send it back to Armin. Armin, go ahead. I mean, Danny and Armin, both of you. Love you guys.
So I do want to mention that you guys do have time for replies. You guys have a lot of time for replies, just without me. So you guys go ahead and continue this conversation as I leave. But I do also want to acknowledge we didn't get any more super chats, but we got something better. And I just want to highlight these two comments because I just want to show you how much I love you guys. Like, look at this. When we were getting close to the time that I have to leave, Amir just commented saying 2 minutes, Armin, and then Sarah was saying, Armin, you got to eat. So they know that this is the time I have to eat, and they were messaging me, Amir and Sarah, in the chat, telling me like, Armin, this is the time you have to go. And I just want to acknowledge the love and care I receive from you guys. You guys are amazing. I love you guys. Oh, and we also got one super chat. Fleshy Interloper, thank you so much, saying retire the IRGC, the Basij, and the leadership. Yes, fantastic.
My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.